Chapter 3 Living Waters. Light exploded, lightning forking, warping before fizzling out. A million specks of white dissolving into the air. Alara staggered forward, and for a terrifying moment it seemed as though there'd be nothing waiting on the other side to catch her fall. Then pure exhilaration pumped through her veins like electricity as her foot struck solid ground. A broad, charcoal-colored rock fanned out before her. She paced to the edge, staring down the sheer slope of a cliff towering some 20 feet over the rocky surface below. She stumbled back a few steps as a breeze fluttered at her back, lifting her hair off her shoulders and twirling wavy strands around her face. Her head slowly swiveled, her mind trying to make sense of the scene before her. To her right, a silvery waterfall stretched high into the sky, pouring from a narrow niche in the rocky ledge to the clear pool below. Across from her, dense fog swallowed the landscape. The forest to her left was darker now, as though a hulking shadow had been cast over the trees. The wall of thorns remained, a clear and impenetrable barrier broken only by the trunk of the passive giant. Unless, she thought, they too were an illusion. She reached out, pressing the tip of a finger to one of the oversized thorns, only to pull back with a jump, a small bead of blood blooming across pale skin. She gave her finger a shake, turning back. The waterfall was out of reach from here, but as she traced along the ledge to the left, she discovered the way down. A set of broad steps descended before her, smooth and evenly spaced, as though someone had taken painstaking care in carving them. She followed silver lines that swirled in arcs and crescents, creating an intricate pattern. At the base of the cliff, a crevice split the rock by the water's edge, where a single tree grew, short but with sweeping branches. Her breath caught. Above the tree, chiseled neatly into the face of the stone, were 5 words. Take the leap of faith. Her eyes scaled the dark rock face, tracing the full height of the cliff. Surely they didn't mean for anyone to leap off the precipice to the rocky ledge where she now stood. There were stairs, after all. The pool of water, though not far from the cliffs, was too shallow for such a fall. She stared at the words for what felt like a solid minute. Of course she wouldn't leap from a cliff just because someone had left the words carved into stone. Perhaps it was a metaphor, she reasoned. Still, the message resonated with her, tugging at something deep within her. She turned to the water pooling in the basin. The water was bright and clear, the bowl-shaped bottom easily visible some 2 to 3 meters below. Her reflection stared back at her from the glass-like surface that shimmered like light itself, clearly reflecting her blue eyes, her thick waves of chestnut-brown hair that framed her face, and her fair skin dancing with the ripples. This place couldn't exist, simply didn't exist within walking distance from her house. The tree that wasn't really a tree, the cliff with intricately carved steps, the waterfall, and the fog, all of it was too still, too perfect to be real. Like a computerized image forgetting to add in the imperfections of reality. Or a dream, she realized. She ran her thumb over the punctured tip of her pointer finger. It still hurt. She had never felt pain before in a dream. She strode closer to the waterfall. It tumbled seamlessly into the pool, where small ripples marched across to the opposite side and disappeared against the grassy shore. Even the waterfall was clear, the dim makings of a cavern peeking through. She reached a hand through the cascading water, testing the depth of the space behind. The water shimmered brighter and flowed like silk across her arm, splashing her face with a fine spray. She would have stopped to study it more if she weren't so cold. She withdrew her half-numbed arm and rubbed the skin. This is crazy, she whispered to herself, rocking on the balls of her feet. Don't think, just do. She darted through the narrow curtain of water with an exhilarating cry that echoed off the walls. The icy current sent a deep shiver that rocked her to the core. She hugged her arms around herself, rubbing up and down to ease the cold. Natural light filtered through the water, pale hues slipping endlessly down the walls. The acoustics of the cave amplified the roar of the falls, thundering in her ears. Yet there was nothing here, no opening leading to the other side, not even a cave. Just an unbroken wall of rock sealing off the back. A dead end. Still, she needed to show someone this place. Kylo was the immediate and jarring answer. She rubbed at her forehead. She was supposed to be meeting Kyla, not going off to explore. She gritted her teeth as she leapt back through the waterfall, teetering off balance beside the pool. She sucked in a sharp breath, the cold racking her body. Then a swish of a branch and a flitter of something above made her snap her head up. A leaf fluttered down from the tree at the base of the cliff, nearly making its way to the ground before the breeze swept it across the water and into the fog. The crow had taken flight, watching her through intelligent eyes as it swooped on the breeze, disappearing like the leaf among the clouded shore. She squinted, trying to peer into the white, impenetrable as a wall, and just as still. The pool of water wasn't large. She thought briefly of swimming across, but something about the sight of that fog stopped her. A warning in the back of her mind sent her backing step by step toward the stairs. More than daunting, unnatural.